What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen, it's good to be back. It's good to have you back, Antonio.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
You're not dead.
I'm not dead.
I'm never sitting in your spot down.
Yeah.
I always do terrible in that spot.
Yeah, he did the whole hospitality thing of like, oh, Alan, where do you want to sit?
I didn't watch it. I listened to part of it, so I didn't know what.
And so Alan was like, I'll sit there.
And I was just like, oh, no, please.
From where you sounded, though, you sounded like you wanted to sit there.
No,
though.
I was like just being like, oh, Alan, you want to sit here? Like, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
go for it. But then, like, I sat down in Antonio's spot, and it was just off. Like, you
Well,
just
yeah,
know
I
right
mean,
away.
Well, he's got the
this
cast
cushion,
on,
like-
too. Like, you're trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
You're trying to be
This
helpful.
cushion like sinks down a little bit. It's weird. in
You're
the
just
corner.
like it's like throwing left-handed sitting over there for me. Like, I can't.
But it works for
it's
Antonio.
strange.
Well,
Yeah,
but that's his
but-
spot. Like, that's.
It is, but it's a lot more comfortable right there.
I love this spot.
Though. Yeah.
I sat in the chair for one or two episodes.
You did.
But
We went really bad during that time.
I think that was also. I think we did just it's gotta stay status quo.
Yeah, I love and hate this spot. God damn it. I love and hate this spot because I feel lonely over here sometimes. And then I feel like it works out that way where I just pick the opposite of what you guys pick. It's like you guys have a mind meld over there.
It's like for 80% of the games.
And you know what's crazy? When we did those few episodes, I
You and Antonio
agreed with
had a
Antonio.
It's the chemistry.
It's strange.
It's like
It is a
FIFA where you have
strange
the
thing.
links. It's
Yeah.
like when you're sitting on the couch, it's like you have a link with Antonio.
Yeah, you guys are like the two center backs, and I'm like the forward. And I'm like, guys, please pass to me.
So we got the Bruins game on in the background right here during this thing. It's
Opening night.
Opening night.
Yep.
Playing the Caps up 3-1 right now, but Caps got a power play.
Easily the best time of the year for sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
all of them at the
you got
same
everything
time.
on TV.
I mean, MLB playoffs are like top tier, and then you got NHL and NBA starting, and then you got NFL starting to kick in a gear. So it's nice to have everything right now. And as an added bonus, World Cup.
World Cup
can't
is
wait,
coming
man.
up. Yep.
I can't
like a month from now, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
A month and a week, a month and some change.
Yeah.
I see the World Cup commercials, and I'm like every time I'm like, oh yeah, I can't
Yeah, I
wait.
keep forgetting, and then I'm like, because
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being on in the summer.
It's
and
gonna
like,
be
yeah.
it's gonna be such an exciting thing. Like
Home-
at Thanksgiving, and you got the fucking soccer game on. Or
Home on England
yeah, no,
for the Queen.
dude. I
the Queen.
despise England soccer. I fucking hate them. So when the Queen died, I was like, God damn it, bro! Like you couldn't
Yeah, no,
wait because
they're
now
so
they're gonna
winning.
win.
England, Brazil. You
No.
thought I was faded when I said Brazil.
I think
So-
you're still faded for that. I don't think Brazil's very good.
They're the favorite right now.
Huh?
Would you take Brazil or Argentina to go further? If I said that right now.
Argentina?
Really?
Yeah. I think it's Argentina, England in the final.
That would be the best final would be Portugal, Argentina, because then everyone would be like,
Oh, everyone would be pissing, but that's not going to happen.
Pissing. No, because then everyone would be soccer's the most rated thing ever. They can't have that.
USA, England in the final.
The USA makes the final, I'll shave.
I think they'll have
My
a good.
entire
I think
body.
they'll have a good World Cup. I don't think they're
I
going to
do
go.
If
too.
the USA makes the World Cup final, I'll shave my entire
If
body.
they could,
I think quarterfinal is like the furthest that they can.
that's what I was gonna say. If they could win a tournament game,
Yeah, knockout round.
shit,
yeah.
man, like that's awesome.
Every time they head to the knockout round, they always get pounded.
Now we are in the same group as England, right?
Yeah, it's us, England, Iran, and Wales.
Oh, we're beating them. We're beating England.
Or Iraq. It's one of the two, Iran or Iraq. Regardless,
Yeah, makes
though,
sense.
they're not going to do anything.
We win that group.
We
Yeah,
do not.
I think
win
we
that
come in
group.
second
win
in
that
that group. We definitely move on.
We
Yeah.
beat England. I swear to God.
There's no way we lose to
Savage.
Iraq
We do-
or Wales.
We do love playing England tough.
Oh yeah,
That's
we
like-
always play England tough.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a really good game.
that
when it
is going
comes
to be a
on.
really good game.
There's always extra juice there when we play them.
Playoff baseball too.
I was just going to say that. So
Mr. Fiore went to the game last night.
Yeah, it
How
was the
was
Yankees game one.
They
It was
won.
electric. Place was absolutely buzzing. Yeah, the lights go out before the game starts, and then there's a spotlight like at center field. You got Nick Swisher out there waving a Yankees flag. Everyone's going crazy.
I hate the Yankees.
CC Sabathia throws out the first pitch against his former team.
CC
Was
Sabathia.
Was he drinking while he did it?
No, I think
He was so drunk. He was so hammered. But yeah, they came away with the win. Oh jeez.
Oh no.
Sal might have to leave.
I might have to. Hey, they scored a goal wise here. It's one. They're up one since I came here.
But yeah, Astros had a crazy comeback yesterday too. FML.
Yeah, against the Mariners.
Yeah,
They're a
yes.
wagon. They
They are a wagon.
Jordan is probably the scariest hitter I've seen.
and they love doing that. They
They
love
are.
those come from behind
I think
wins.
this is the most beatable team I've seen in this Astros kind of like era though. Their bullpen is a little shaky. But
I think I'm the dumbest person ever. I think for the last 2 years in the podcast, I was probably the biggest Phillies fan there ever was.
I know.
And then this year I jump off, and now this year.
Well, dude, because they just spent the whole season blowing every game, and then they had the worst September ever, and they still made the playoffs.
They're like how the Red Sox were last year.
Well,
remember when we were talking about the Red Sox and they were blowing every game,
Yeah.
and then they got to the playoffs and they were a wagon. Like that's how the Phillies are.
You
right
know
now.
how like those last 4 teams in March Madness are always like the ones that are like, oh, like they win a couple games and they like go to like the Sweet 16 or whatever. Like the Phillies were the last team.
Yeah,
to get
I
in,
mean-
and it's like they got kind of like that little like underdog. Like
Yeah,
That
the
happens,
Braves
dude.
might be in some trouble, but that team,
you love the Braves.
I do. The Phillies mash, man. They got some guys that can hit. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Phillies are fun. The Phillies are a fun
They
team.
definitely
I
are a fun
love
team.
Schwarber.
They have a very good pitching staff too.
I wish the
He-
Red
they-
Sox kept
yeah,
him.
I
He was
know.
such a Boston guy. Remember we used to talk about that? He's the most Boston guy, and they got rid of him.
So let's talk about fuck the Mets. Fuck
I don't
them.
need that. So like
Fire them into the sun.
that
Yeah.
hurt me because I had a future on the Mets, and I was just like, all right.
I did too.
I was like, they can at least win this round against the Padres, and if they lose to the Dodgers, like I'll tip my cap to the Dodgers and say they were a better team.
Listen. Well, the Mets played the Dodgers very well in the regular season, and they won the regular season series.
That's what everyone wanted to see, and the Mets just had to blow it.
Well,
Go ahead.
here's my thing, and we can rewind a little bit or a lot. Number 1, game 1, you have Matt Scherzer on the mound. I'm not going to say you need to win that game, but when you lose that game, the pressure, say it's at like 60%, it
Absolutely.
goes to 100,000%.
Because he's supposed to be automatic. That's one of those
that
guys. You bring in that guy to win
Yep.
a game like that.
That's literally what they signed him for.
And what? He gives up 5 home runs in
so
that game.
bad, so bad.
Looked terrible. Looked lost. It looked like he didn't even belong on the mound out there. So it was like one of those things. Number 2, they don't even play in that game if they can beat Atlanta 1 out of 3 times. They don't have to sweep
Right.
them. They don't have to win 2 out of 3. They have to win 1 game, and they could not win
I
one
think
game
that's
in that
where-
final series. That's where they lost all their juice.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they won a couple games after that in the regular season. It didn't matter. After that happened, they were just like mentally like knocked
right.
out.
And the fans were the exact same way. The fans kind of.
Well, Mets fans always have that like lose the videos of
Yeah.
the trumpets were so good where they were just playing like
The sad music.
The best one was they did the Braves
the chop, yeah.
and it was just a montage of the Braves absolutely thrashing the Mets. But
I'd be so scared if I was on the Mets and we were like
Listening to that.
shitting and
Yeah.
you see everyone doing like
This,
the
yeah.
tomahawk chop to the
I love
to the
that.
song, dude. I would be so
that shit's
scared.
awesome. But
Same with the Chiefs when the Chiefs do it. I'd
Yeah.
be so scared.
obviously, I wanted to see the Mets go far because a 7-game Mets Braves series would have been wild for the NLCS. That shit would have been nuts. But also the possibility of seeing a Yankees and Mets World Series is quite exciting. But the one thing I'm the most mad about is now the Dodgers have a much easier series in the NLDS, and I like.
They love just beating the shit out of the Padres.
I know, and the Padres
It's their
played
favorite
them a
thing
little
to do
tough
ever.
last night. But the Mets played the Dodgers extremely well this regular season and won the season series. They match up great against that team, and I think 5-game set would have been a favorable matchup for the Mets as opposed to a 7-game set against the Dodgers.
But they're the Mets.
They're the Mets. And I wanted to go to Citi Field so bad for that series. No shame, decked out in my Yankee shit. And I'd have Mets fans being like, "What the fuck you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm here because I hate Dodger Blue, and I'm here to root and say fuck the Dodgers with all you guys."
Every fan
But-
of the Mets is the same way, though. It's kind of like how the Red Sox were pre-curse. It's like they
Yeah.
all are just like waiting for that like terrible thing.
Cubs
to happen.
fans.
Yeah, once they blew the division, because I listened to a lot of WFAN New York, and the Mets fans like broadcasters are like, I mean, this is
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. They were not excited for the San Diego series. They're like, yeah, I guess I'll be a little excited on Friday, but I mean, it's just not looking good. I don't believe in it. And then there it goes. That happens. Game 3 of that series too with the Padres, they didn't sell out Citi Field. That was the least amount of people that was at the game or at any of the games.
It's almost like
of
the
that
fans
series.
knew what was about to
The
happen.
fans knew. The
Yeah.
fans knew that they was just cursed.
It's a shame.
So yeah, are we excited for the Yankees? Are they making it to the World Series or what?
I said that the other day. I think
They're gonna have to go through the Astros, right?
Yeah, they're definitely. Well, I shouldn't say definitely, but they're most likely going to play the Astros, and that's going to be a very good series. But you guys are going to win that. Be honest with yourselves.
I
Especially
think
with
so too,
Aroldis
because
Chapman not there.
If I'm looking, him
That's
not
the
there,
greatest thing that
great.
could have ever happened to the Yankees.
Having I think Domingo Germán's going to be a great weapon in the bullpen too. Piece of shit, but He's going to be a really good weapon in the bullpen because he's got electric stuff on his fastball sinker. And then J-Mo's in the bullpen now, too. So they have injuries there. You miss Michael King. You don't know what. They had Clay Holmes. They put him in last night to close out the game, and he looked fine. Like, he hit the first batter, but after that, he got the job done.
Chapman just needed to get off that roster, and I'm not.
Yeah,
saying, like,
and
that,
then Houston or Tampa's going to sign him next year, and he's going to have a .05 ERA and save 40 games. So
but even at that point, he's just like a cancer on your team, and I hate to say it that way.
Oh, he is. At this point, it's bad for the clubhouse.
Yeah, anything he did, anytime he came in, it was just like the house was on fire.
So if I was looking at baseball from an outside, like if I wasn't a Yankees fan and I hated the Yankees, I would be thinking like, well, I know the Astros have a better record, but I hate the fucking Yankees so much that I could just see them, doing it this year because they started off so good, and then I got my hopes up when they started playing like shit, and I was like, oh yeah, same old Yankees, they're not going to go this year. But I got a different feeling about the Astros this year. I think we're going to be able to get to their bullpen a little bit more than in past years, and They have this pitching staff that has been incredible during the regular season, but it's a bunch of guys that they kind of, besides Verlander, he came out of nowhere. Like, I forget the guy's name, but great young rookie pitcher. He had a great year. But you don't know what we're getting with
he
these
throws
guys in the
exactly
playoffs.
like Verlander, too, right?
He does, yeah.
I forget what his name
again,
is.
we don't know what we're going to get from these guys in the playoffs. So, and Seattle's a great team. I really think they had to win that game yesterday.
That's a killer. That's killer for them.
Devastating.
Because if you can go in, all right,
because they're competitive with Houston. They really are. They have been all season.
If they can win game 2, sure, I guess. But like to go in there and steal game 1, it's like there's no pressure on you in game 2. Mm-hmm. And then if you somehow end up taking that, it's like all yours.
They would have. Yeah, they win yesterday. They got Luis Castillo on the mound for game 2 as well.
He's ridiculous.
He's amazing, and a great move by them extending him too.
Oh yeah. So is it just staring us in the face and we're like not realizing it? Like, is it just gonna be Astros Dodgers? Like it always is. Like it has been for.
I really, really hope it's not.
shit.
And I think this year, especially for some reason, all of these teams have a shot. And I think that when that happens, you get some unexpected. Storylines.
Wow, Phillies Yankees.
I was about to say 2009 rematch.
Wow.
That was about to be the next words out of my mouth.
You look at any matchup that you can put on the board. I think they all make sense. You all could see it.
Honestly, Braves Yankees would be fun.
Braves Yankees would be fun.
That's classic.
Dodgers Yankees would be all right. Like it would be very.
The only
good.
team that I think would be icky.
I don't like us matching up against the Dodgers.
The only team that I think would be icky would be the Mariners in the World Series. Like it'd be fun. It'd be fun, but I feel like it would just be icky. Like they just get pounded by whoever.
Icky's not the right word. It'd be like the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Right. They made
I
it.
think that's like really good.
They made it with some luck on their back. Good young team that's going to be good for a while, but probably made it a year or two like prematurely.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like them a lot. They're a team. That's
too.
They're a team that's going to be around for a while. But
I think a Phillies Dodgers
NLCS
would be an
really
ass
good.
whooping.
You think it would be an ass whooping? Earlier this year, they swept them in LA.
But I don't know at the same time. Like, is it just
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
the Phillies? Like, are they just gonna go on like a Nationals run?
Maybe.
That's what I thought when I saw that they won the other night. I was like,
Any team that has
Destiny.
Any team that has Schwarber does good in the playoffs. Apparently, like
Team of Destiny, dude.
That was how the podcast started. That was like the first. That was right when it started. We were like,
Phillies are the Team of Destiny this year.
Yeah, we were like
for
the
sure.
Nationals.
Remember, I was like, "Oh, Soto's not homering this at bat, but his next at bat." And then the next at bat, he homered, and we were all like, "Wait a second."
I remember watching that Dodgers Nats game 5 at Allen's house too. That shit was nuts.
I bet 2 home runs in 1 inning, and Kershaw like was in the inning before, and then he came back.
Kershaw did the most Kershaw,
and we
thing.
were all just like, "Oh my god, he's giving up a home run so fat." And then I was like, "No, he's giving up 2 home runs."
And Rendon comes up, and then
it was Soto, Rendon. No, Soto and then Rendon.
Oh, it was Soto and Rendon.
It was
right.
Soto cranked one first at bat, and then Rendon cranked one second at bat, and we were all going nuts. And then as soon as the second one left the park, fucking Dave Roberts comes out and pulls him, and we're all like, "Oh my god!"
Couldn't believe it. I can't believe they left him in.
Oh, left him in way too long. Dave Roberts, terrible manager, awful manager.
I don't like him as a manager.
I don't care who you put in there. Anyone else with a pulse probably wins like at least another World Series with that team. Mm-hmm. In like the last like 5-10 years.
I think he pooped when it came to the really big times to make a decision, he pooped on every single one. And you can't do that as a manager, especially with a team like the Dodgers that is always in the mix for the World Series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he's made so many egregious errors, but when you win 100 games a year, it's like you can't fire him either. So
Exactly. And then when you get to those spots,
That's how it's been with Boone.
it's like that's like your only job as the Dodgers manager.
I think Boone's
But
a
he's
terrible
better.
manager too.
He's been a lot better this year.
I think you told me
he's
this.
terrible. He's
I
really
thought
bad.
this not too long ago.
bad.
You said you were off the Boone train. You told
I
me
was
that.
on I was off last year. I was on. The
You were on
beginning of the
earlier
year,
this year, and then when
I
I
came off again when they started to suck. But
Yeah.
he's just weird. I don't know. It's very.
He's really bad. He's
All right.
a really bad manager.
Yeah, we can move on to football here.
Prime course, main entree, NFL.
What does that mean?
Yeah, no one's like
That was like the appetizer. Now we're
Oh, this is the prime course
is-
now?
yeah, this
Oh,
is
okay, I
prime
get
time
you.
now.
no
I
one's
thought you
like,
meant in
no one's
terms
like,
of
we don't
football. I was like,
we don't
wait,
talk
what?
about
No,
the
no, no.
NFL.
I mean,
I was like, wait, we're talking about football?
there were some fun games last week.
There were. I mean, the primetime games, I'd say, lived up to the hype.
Yeah, but that play calling in the red zone for the Bengals was just not it.
All right,
I mean,
let's start there because that game was wildly obnoxious to me. You get the ball, you're Cincinnati, and you get the ball first and goal on what, the 2 or something, and you don't run it one time. You don't run it. You throw an incompletion, and then you try Philly on second down and lose 15 yards.
Then try a shovel pass.
Hold on, and then they complete a pass, and I knew as soon as they completed that pass, they were going for it.
And they got back to the 2-yard line,
And they got
right?
back right to where they started.
Yep.
And then they still called the worst play ever. They called 2 out of the 4 worst plays I've ever seen on the goal line.
Zach Taylor pooped.
Philly, and then a shovel pass. How about run the ball to your running
It's
back?
like
Yeah,
that's too much of not playing to your identity. Like that's just not what the Bengals do.
That's just so, like you're being way too cute.
That's what I mean. There's just so much, especially this year in the NFL with offensive play calling. I see so much like overcoaching. Like
I want to make this point right now.
and we'll get to that. With
Happened
Green
in
Bay
the
game.
Raiders game.
No.
Happened in the Raiders game.
Right.
Analytics are ruining football. These coaches do not factor in situations to the numbers.
Right. Guys like Zach Taylor, Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley's a huge one.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about that? He should be fucking fired.
All right,
If they lost that game,
save that.
all right,
Here's my point.
That one will be fun.
I'll tee that up.
I got something else for McDaniels too. McDaniels.
McDaniels.
That was faded play.
That
of the
was
week.
faded play of the week. Faded
All
play
right,
of the week.
Ready? This is the problem. Say going for it on 4th down and goal in that situation, your chances increase by 6% to win the game, right? Or 8% or 4%, whatever you want to say, right? You have to factor in Baltimore. They looked okay. They haven't really moved the ball. It's a lower scoring game. You're on the road. It's prime time. It's like these coaches don't think about anything but, oh, okay, this arbitrary chart shows me that I'm supposed to go for it in this situation, so I'm just going to listen to it. It's like, yes, in any given scenario, your chances to get 2 yards is better than your chance not to get 2 yards, right? For
Yeah.
most NFL offenses.
Yeah.
You got to think though. All right, how bad does this deflate the sales out of my team after, like, if we don't get this? You got to look at it from all points of view, not just, oh, well, if I go for it here, my team has 5% more chance of winning, so I need to go for it. That's just blindly a monkey to do that.
Yeah.
a monkey to coach. An
It's like
NFL
it's a
team.
computer almost.
No, literally, it's why even have a coach then?
Yeah, just have a desktop computer be your coach with the
Seri-
clipboard
no,
and the
no,
headset on.
Literally, type it in. 4th and goal at the 2. Go for it. Okay.
Like
let's listen to the
what's
computer.
in SpongeBob Plankton's wife?
Karen?
Just have Karen.
Yeah,
have
literally.
Karen be the coach.
Literally, she could do as good a job as Zach Taylor did Sunday night.
Because
I mean, it's-
so here's the thing, right? It's like it's almost like you have to, like what you said, they don't take into account the situation. It's almost a feeling thing. Like where they go wrong is they hire all these statisticians on their fucking staff, and all their only job is to sit there and say, yeah, go for it, or no, don't go for it, because the odds say this. Bro, that does not, like you said, it doesn't fucking matter, because then you say, okay, we have a 6% chance of winning this game, or 6% better chance of winning this game if we go for it. Then you go for it, and you call a faded ass play.
It's marginal.
You call a faded ass play
Well,
anyway.
that's part of the issue too. So yes, it might be 6% better, but if you call the worst play in the history of sports, then what did you?
Then your odds
and
go way down.
You call a shovel pass that did nothing.
That's what I mean. That was an outstanding point you made too about how deflating is this going to be to my team if we don't get this.
And is this going to cost us the football game, which we saw twice?
So that game, that situation came up. And then what was McDaniels thinking with 4 minutes left to go for
I
two?
have no idea.
I've never been more surprised to see a 2-point conversion in my entire life.
I was watching the game with the Barnes family, and all of us discussed why. Like, why are you going for
Because
that?
my thing is,
Tie the fucking game.
well, tie the fucking game, number one, obviously. But number two,
You're playing the Chiefs.
you
gotta take those fucking
well,
points.
take the points. But my thing is, like, all right, even if you don't stop, or like say you don't stop them and they take a field goal, you still need a field goal either way. Like, no matter what, you still need the same amount
Yeah,
of points.
that's what I was saying. I was like,
So you
they
only-
still need a field goal to beat you.
You have all of the downside and none of the upside by just kicking it.
There's a lot of coaches in this league this year that just seem to don't understand situational football, and it's like
And that-
Tom
and
Brady
that-
makes that comment, like there's been a lot of bad football this year,
yeah.
and he's 100% right. That has a lot to do with overcoaching and guys not practicing.
Yeah, I
The
think that's a
quality
huge
of
part of
football
it.
has just
People don't
been
practice anymore.
Strange
Well,
this year.
unders have been cashing this year too. Unders like 60% because nobody's scoring this year either.
Yeah, and I think so.
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
The 2-point conversion by Andy Reid, that is a amazingly smart play call. I've been advocating for that for so long. If you're up 7, you go for 2. Why would you not go for 2?
Oh, absolutely.
You
I
go up
couldn't agree
2
more.
possessions and you have that much more of a cushion. Even if you're
You're
up,
still upset.
right? Even
Yeah.
if you're up 8, yes, you can stop them. How often are you going to stop them going for 2? 40% of the time, 45% of the time. And then at that point, once they get the 2-point conversion, how hard are they winning after? Like, that shit happens all the time. Like, the
Andy
team that
Reid-
comes back and gets the 2-point conversion, I feel like always wins. I think people didn't like that play call. If you're up 7 later on in the game, I love going.
I like it.
Because there's no downside. Like we said, there's no downside. And Andy Reid does a good job of doing the opposite of what these coaches are doing. He does it based on feel. He does. I don't think he looks at statistics. I really don't. I think maybe a little bit.
He probably does.
He
but
probably factors it into his
Yeah.
decisions, but I don't think he
Solely
looks at
bases
it as a
off.
Bible
Yeah,
to
right.
say, "Oh, this I have to go for it here because this book says I should,
Now,
or
there's
this
de-
number says I should."
There's definitely organizations too that force these type of analytic things on these young head coaches too. The Chiefs definitely are like, all right, Andy, this is your offense.
Mm-hmm.
You have control over this. We're not going to try and push any of this extra bullshit on you.
And you notice it too. It's a lot of the younger coaches.
Right.
The younger coaches, because they haven't. So the analytics,
Everybody's
like
trying
you
to
said,
be
are
Sean
ruining
McVay.
it,
Everybody's trying to be Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
and the analytics are ruining it because they forget everything that they've learned from the coaches that they've been underneath this whole time, and then they just go, "Oh, well, I'm going to do it my way, and my way is we're going to do it the statistical way because this is the new way. This is where it's going." It's like, no, that's not how it works, because then you take the head coach aspect out of it.
So say your piece on Staley, because obviously it was a bad play call, but you were ready. To
Oh
fire
my
up.
God, dude! Like,
Goes for it every fourth day.
It's fourth and Staley.
10 on your
Dude,
damn
any
your
other
own 30,
coach-
and he's going for it.
any other coach in that team is miles ahead of what I said this before. Good coaching can overcome bad players. Bad coaching can't overcome good players. If you have bad coaching, it can systemically ruin your entire team, because look at how good their offense is, and then look at the pieces they have on defense. Are they where they should be right now?
If Staley had
With
the
all
New
these
York
games that
Giants
they've-
roster, what's their record?
0-5.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, if you have these decisions, and just have to look at it, dude. It's like every single game he does a decision like that where you're like, what the fuck
When
are you
I
doing?
watch him, I feel like he coaches like he's playing the Chiefs every game.
Yes.
Like that's how he takes it in. And it's like, bro, you're playing Jacoby Brissett and the Browns. Just punt it to them. If your defense gives up 3 points and they go 50 or 60 yards, like with no timeouts, that's on them.
Neither of those teams could stop
You're
the run.
winning the game.
Also, they ran a terrible 4th down call too.
It was so
What
bad.
they throw a slant to Mike Williams in
on their
double coverage?
own 45.
It wasn't even close. So, but that's the other thing too. It's like, what? Then you don't get it, and I know they won the game somehow, but it's like, then what? You don't get it, and they need to go 7 yards.
They just got lucky that they were playing the Browns.
They almost outbrowns the Browns, which is pretty impressive.
And now it's the thing is saying they're charging, because that's literally what it is. They just give up games.
And yet they still will make the playoffs somehow, just because Herbert's that good.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yep.
I think if they miss out on the playoffs or get bumped in the first round, I really do think he's fired. He has to be, dude.
Easily.
With any other coach, they are easily should be. I mean, I think 4-1. That's what I think that they should be. With the roster that they have in this division, they should easily be up there. Same with the Raiders.
The run defense is terrible. The Chargers right now, it looks like absolute garbage.
Yeah, fair. And that's the other thing. It's just if you have this bad of a coaching staff, imagine if you had Sean McVay. Imagine if they had Sean McVay. Or imagine if they had Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
How much better that team would be.
They just looked a lot crisper. They always looked very unput together and not
It's
cohesive.
very hard to look at that team and be confident in them winning because of your coach.
I think McDaniels is a terrible head coach.
I do too. I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he motivates anybody. And then that's not even the top of the.
He can't manage your game.
That's not even the icing on the cake. He can't manage a game.
He cannot manage your game.
When you're going for two, and you can literally just tie the game in a divisional game. I get that they only need a field goal to beat you, but you go up 31-30, they still need a field goal to beat you.
Right.
Just take your medicine, take the points. You're on the road, take the points. And then Devontae Adams shoving the guy at the end of the game.
Oh God!
He sold that. That guy sold that. But don't get your money, I guess. But
he's gonna get some money, but it's just I don't understand why.
Well, if I was Adams too, I'd be pissed. It's what? I left Green Bay for this shit, to go 1-4 and to lose by a point. And
it would be very frustrating, especially when you know that they're so much better than the record.
I mean, that last play was ridiculous, where they ran into each other.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
What are you running there? What is that?
It's bad play calling again.
Every time
there's a lot of trash.
You need 1 yard, bro. You need 1 yard. They were sending everyone. You put Devontae on one side. You put Renfro on the other side. One of them that's open within a couple of seconds. You got 2 seconds.
And
to throw
on a cover zero blitz that one of them is going to be single coverage. Devontae Adams is beating single coverage every time.
And if he doesn't, hey, you lost.
Because the guy plays too far off of him, he can just do a cut really quick. You only need 2 yards. If the guy's playing too close on him, he's beating him on a go route, and he's in the end zone, like you saw in one of the first plays of the game. That's literally what they did. Mm-hmm. And to not learn from that and to not scheme during, I think what it is too, Sal, is these coaches can't adapt during the game.
No, yeah, they don't make it good enough adjustments at halftime.
They don't make good enough adjustments.
They don't know what adjustments is.
Yeah, they just stick to their game plan, and I'm sure he went into it saying, we're going to be really aggressive. And then when it came down to the play, he's like, you know what? I said I was going to be aggressive, so I might as well go for 2. It's no, because that costs you the game.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of frustrating mistakes across the board. How about your Giants, though?
So that's
Giants.
That's the most fun I've had watching
really good
a Giants football game since I was a junior in high school in 2016.
They're rolling.
That was fucking awesome. I couldn't sit down for 40 minutes after the game.
Really?
I couldn't.
That's funny.
He was jazzed up, dude.
I had no idea what to do with myself. No idea. Matt LaFleur is a terrible head coach also. Again, another guy that just didn't decide to make adjustments. Letting Aaron Rodgers call his own plays, yeah, that's working really well right now.
I think his hands are tied, though. I really do.
I do too. Also, why don't you continue to run the ball in the second half as well? Aaron Jones, every time he touched the ball, looked very
6 yards.
Yeah, he was very explosive in that game, and he's actually, I believe he leads the NFL in yards per rush attempt right now. So why aren't we using him? Why aren't we using him?
Yeah, they're we need Aaron Rodgers to sling it.
That's
so
what
you
I mean.
have no one to throw
Shotgun
to.
After shotgun after shotgun with Aaron Rodgers. And it couldn't have been more predictable for the
And
Giants
he hates
defense.
his receivers too, so you think he'd want to run it a little bit more, but I guess not.
Lazard has bricks for hands.
Dobbs is really good.
He can't get Dobbs.
He
is
is
pretty
good.
good.
He's a good player. He's going to be good.
But I mean, Randall Cobb's 7,000 years old, so you can't really count on him for a full
that
60
team
minutes.
is just stale. They're just so
I thought
predictable, and you know what's coming.
They're very.
I thought they were going to have
one-dimensional.
an excellent defense this year too,
and their defense is not good.
It's not good. They couldn't. They gave up 27 to the Giants.
They have to play like the Patriots played Tom Brady's last few years. Just pound the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Just pound the ball.
And then once it's like 3rd and 4, all right, now Aaron makes the throw.
Exactly,
Not
and you
third,
can
not
do
3rd
that.
and 10 when their ears are peeled back and they know it's coming. Like
Exactly. They have a good tandem in the backfield. Use that to your advantage.
they don't have a good one. They have a great one. Both
Yeah.
those running backs are very good. And it's like, what? That's probably the strength of your team at this point is your running game. And it's like,
100%.
Nope. Let's just
That offensive line and the running game,
Yeah.
100% is the best part of that team.
So like it's like what? Let's ignore that and throw to Robert Tonyan or like Randall Cobb. Like that doesn't make any
it's just
sense.
like let's
just feel
use
like
Aaron
they've never
Rodgers
had
as
it
shit done
before.
because we have Aaron Rodgers.
They've never had it before. He's never had that.
They're not doing anything this year. I don't think.
No.
I just don't see it with that team. I mean, the Giants should make the playoffs at this rate, and like that's not something I thought I would be saying at the beginning of the year.
Right.
It's because we said they were going to be good last year.
I'm always a year
Exactly.
too early on so many. Like just that always happens. To
But
me.
that means we're good, though. We see the potential.
that means the Mets are definitely winning next year.
The Mets are winning the World Series next year. It's a lock. Put it in right now.
Yeah, I mean, like we've said, the Giants' schedule is far from the hardest in the NFL at this point.
yeah.
Going on. The hardest teams you have left to play are the Ravens this week, 2 games against the Eagles. We'll
against the
see. We'll see
Cowboys.
how the Vikings are doing later on in the season. They play them later on, but they can't finish games. They don't want to finish games, so we'll see how that ends up working out. But other than that, it's a bunch of crappy teams.
I agree. I think, the Giants could definitely make. So if you say lose the games you say they good, that's what, 5 losses?
Oh, you guys can easily get 10 wins. Not easily, but you guys can get 10 wins.
No, yeah, they could definitely get to 10 wins. They got to
10 and 7. That's
got to
definitely
take
making
one
the
against the
playoffs.
Eagles at least. Got to win that one against the Cowboys.
What sucks?
Please
is
take 2
that
against the Commanders.
The NFC East is suddenly the
Oh,
best division
yeah.
ever.
The
Okay.
NFC beast again. It's
Yeah,
back.
I think that's what's going to be hard because you really need the Cowboys to fall off when Dak comes back, which I think could happen.
Definitely could happen.
I'm pretty
Let's talk
sure
about that.
their schedule gets quite a bit tougher than the Giants does coming up soon.
So Cooper Rush is the best quarterback ever?
Dude, I told you, bro. I like him.
He did nothing. It was all the defense side.
Right. Matt
True.
Stafford also.
But I do like Cooper Rush because he's like Jacoby Brissett. He knows his role and he knows that he is not Dak Prescott, and he knows that.
They're winning because of the run game, just like in 2016 when Dak was
Tony Pollard.
I was just going to say, stop
Tony
giving
Pollard.
the ball to Zeke.
Oh, I know.
Tony Pollard.
Oh my God, I've said
Love
it
Tony
so
Pollard.
much.
Big tone.
Every time Tony Pollard gets, well, Alan made this point too, which was kind of funny. He's like, they literally don't block for Zeke. Like literally, they don't
No,
even try.
they hate Zeke.
No, and then Tony Pollard gets in, and it's like the Red Sea. Like they just
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
no.
It's the defense too, because once Zeke's in there, it becomes predictable. Because you're like, oh, they're handing it to Zeke. When Pollard's in there, you don't know if
They're
they're
like,
going to
oh,
throw it. You don't know if they're going to run it. Like, you don't know.
I did not like that team, and I thought they were fraudulent. But that defense is like
It's
really good.
Very good.
It's really good, and it's like hard. I don't know why it's like hard for me to like admit or like say that it is. But like,
it's
a lot of people thought they were going to be that team was just going to be terrible this year.
almost like you're blinded by the fact that it's the Cowboys, and at the same time, they had a lot of injuries too. And you're like, can they overcome that? And they definitely have, and they definitely have looked like one of the best defenses in the
this
NFL.
game this weekend against the Eagles is very interesting because
It's gonna be such a good game.
It could be such a good game, but I mean, we'll see how they respond to Jalen Hurts, like a more mobile quarterback, because Matt Stafford's just standing there.
Matt
He's standing
Stafford
as
is
pocket
so
quarterback,
bad.
so Micah Parsons can just fucking
Was
right
that-
at that guy.
was that game more of a story about Dallas's up and comingness and potential this year, or about how the Rams season is going to go and they're going to be a disappointment all year?
Yeah, are they going to be like the way they were the year after they made the Super Bowl last time? Because they didn't make
Mm-hmm.
the playoffs that year.
They went like 8-8 or 7-9 or something.
I think it should be about the Rams being a disappointment, but what everyone's going to talk about is the Cowboys.
in your mind, where like is it more about the Cowboys being better than we thought, or more about the Rams being worse than we thought?
I think it's more about the Rams being worse than we thought, and I think it's really reflected on Sunday because Matt Stafford, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that elbow thing that we were talking about before, but he just does not look
himself.
I don't know what it is.
Their offensive line's really bad too. It's like they're always just like kind of near him, and he does not like that. But then at that point, it's like, all right, so you got like Jared Goff back there almost.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Yeah.
They're back where they started.
literally, you're back at square one.
Yeah, right now, San Francisco looks far and away the best team in that division.
It is so weird how Jimmy G comes back and it's like a switch
Listen,
has
man,
flipped,
and with the way
and
the
they all of a
NFC
sudden look like the greatest team of all
with the way
time.
the NFC is right now, you could look at the 49ers and be like, they're on their way back to another Super Bowl.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. Like that's what it seems like to me. Like
I mean, them are my team.
what
Yeah.
the Eagles? I mean, yeah. Hey, it's between them, the Eagles. I mean, who else?
I have nothing bad to say about the Eagles. It's just at this point, I just want to see
The Giants.
that they're not the Cardinals from last year, and they're not the Steelers from
Well,
the year before.
you said that a couple times, and I don't want to say the more I think about it, the more you might be right. But the more I think about it, it's like these teams that start off like 9-10-0 almost never do good in the playoffs. So it's like you don't want to peak too early.
But it's a different situation. You know, last year the Cardinals, they didn't have the best O-line in the NFL by far, and they didn't have
injuries
the best
play a big
D-line in the
factor.
NFL.
It's like their left or their right guard. Dickerson went out. I don't know if he plays left or right guard, and I think Kelsey was out for a little bit too. So it's like if they're down 2 or 3 people on their offensive line, that team completely changes. And then they play Dallas this week, and Dallas's defensive line could just crush them. So
I do think, and this is not me being biased against the Eagles. I don't want you to think this.
No, it is. Well, let's go.
It's not. It's not. But I do think that they flatten out at the second half of the season. Now, does that mean that they still can't make NFC Championship, Super Bowl? No. But I do think that they flatten out and they lose a couple like games that they should win. So I mean, but that happens to everybody in the NFL in this day and age. Like,
well, you're not going undefeated.
No, definitely not. And like what we saw with the Cardinals when they went 8-0 or 9-0, whatever it was, and then they were shit the second half of the year because their schedule got a lot better. I mean, that could happen.
They probably run into a 3-week stretch where they lose 2 out of 3, something like that. It happens.
No.
Yeah, and then people are saying, "Oh, are the Eagles frauds? Are the Eagles frauds?" And that's just what happens in this day and age in the NFL because anyone can win on any given week. We've said that so many times. It's the parity thing.
Oh Jesus. Well, I mean, the Eagles. I mean, we talk about the Giants' schedule. The Eagles might have it easier than the Giants do. I mean, this is just
Which is precisely the reason why I liked them before the season. I looked at their schedule and could not believe how easy it was.
Yeah, the NFC East. Well, they get to play the AFC South this year as well, which
So bad.
worst.
What, they play the Colts and
So
Houston
bad.
and like oh my god.
It's so bad.
Tennessee should run away with that division.
Yeah, and that's gross.
Yeah, that is
It's
disgusting.
really gross.
There's a game I love this week.
Should we get into this week?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I don't know if there's any
Oh,
other things.
well, one more team I'd like to shout out.
Yep.
The Jets might be the best team in the NFL.
The Jets,
Antonio hated that.
dude, the
I hate
Jets,
them so much.
they look good, man. I mean,
when you're not Teddy out in like the first quarter, okay, granted, like that's
but
a big.
still, they put up
Yeah,
40
you gotta put in your
points.
7th round.
Yeah.
They put up
Yeah.
40
Or
points.
quarterback.
Their offense looked really good.
Their offense is good, man.
Brees Hall is really good.
Who's that corner?
Sauce.
Stud.
Stud.
Remember we were talking
I
about
I said that last
Great
week too,
player.
and you were like, "Watch out, watch out!" You're like, "Oh no!"
what?
About Sauce. You're
Sauce is so good.
like, no, but you were saying like I was like he's gonna shut down like Tyreek or Waddle or whoever he's starting. And you were like, "Don't say that." You're like, it was just like one of those.
I was wrong.
No, but like he's like I'm dead serious.
But I mean, when you have Skylar Thompson throwing to you,
fair enough. But at the same
like
time, he's been doing,
not trying to discredit it, but like let's just put that out
he's
there.
been doing good all year. And,
Yeah.
and he's looked better every game. They're one of those teams where like I don't want to say I'd be not surprised, but I would be not as shocked as you would think if they make the playoffs. I think they have a real shot at making the
I think
playoffs.
they'd have a real shot too. I mean, I think their schedule gets a bit tougher. Like they play the Packers this weekend. They play the Broncos. They play the Pats.
The Packers are losing
twice.
to the Giants than the Jets. That
They
is
play the
not
Bills.
happening.
Yeah, right.
They play the Bills twice still. So like
They'll come back down to earth. They're the Jets.
they'll
Yeah.
come back down to earth, but I
They'll
definitely
finish-
do think that they'll be
The-
in the running by the end of the
They'll
year.
get 6 wins.
The thing, oh no, they'll get like 7, 8, or 9 wins, Antonio.
No.
But the thing is,
Not 9.
the thing is,
Not 9.
Not 9.
8 maybe.
the thing is, they're gonna tickle at the end of the year. Like they're gonna be,
They're gonna
like,
be on the edge.
they're gonna be on the edge of a playoff spot, and like it's gonna come down to like week 16 or week 17 or week 18.
Who do you think they play week 18?
They probably play the Bills, and like everyone's gonna be so upset.
I hope they
No,
play
it's
the
the team that they
Patriots.
just played.
Miami.
Oh, they play Miami.
In Miami,
They
they're
play
gonna-
Miami.
They're gonna get crapped on that game.
Shit on.
That's tough.
And that's gonna be like their make it or break it.
Ugh. Well,
I wish it was the Bills, dude.
rip the Jets, I guess.
Fuck.
Hey man, you never know.
Are we ready?
For next week, yeah.
For next week.
Ugh.
For this week, really.
Let's get
This
it.
week, yeah.
Thursday night, baby.
I
if you
don't
think
wanna
it
talk
couldn't
about-
get worse
I don't
than
wanna
last
talk about
week's
it.
Thursday night game, we got the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears.
There might not be a forward
I am
pass in
not
this
going to
game.
watch this.
There
That
might not
just
be a
straight
forward
up.
pass in this
Straight
game.
up not watching this.
Is that true? You won't watch this game?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I'll
I'm going
watch
to a
it.
concert tomorrow,
I don't.
so, yeah.
I don't know.
I'll watch the
Oh.
first quarter, maybe.
But if I wasn't doing anything, I probably wouldn't. I'd watch baseball. Yeah, the Yankees are on, dude. I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't watch this Thursday night shit show for
I mean, yeah, if this game was on tomorrow, I'd for sure be
I feel the
watching
same
this
way.
over the football
Amazon paid $80 million to get these games.
I saw that.
game. Like last
What happened?
That was the best save I've ever seen.
Hallmark is so good. Last Thursday was the worst game I've ever seen. So this game I have no hopes for. Zero expectations.
Last week,
That wasn't that good.
last week, I did a fat same game parlay, and I had Naheem Hines in it.
No, dude.
And he was out on the third play. I was like, "Are you shitting me?" Here?
Was it the Pat McAfee show?
No,
The-
no.
What was that? What's that guy's name?
Super Boost? Oh, AJ Hawk.
AJ Hawks one. He had Naheem Hines
Yeah.
in his too.
So dumb. Like literally, like 3 plays into the game, I bet was that. I was like, "This is fun. Like great." And then I sat there and watched like the first half. I was like, "This is literally the worst thing I've ever watched in my entire life."
I mean, Russell Wilson throwing that pick at the end of the game, I was just like,
What
yo,
are you doing?
talk about a guy that doesn't look like himself. He hasn't looked like himself for like years.
It's like those old marijuana commercials where it's like, "Are you not you anymore?" And it's
Yeah, they're all like deflated on the couch. That's literally him. That's him. I don't understand, so.
All right, fuck Russell Wilson. Washington at Chicago. Spread is -1 for Chicago at the moment. Over under is 38 points. Don't need any real analysis here. I'm gonna take Washington. Just,
I'll be too easily.
Just because I still think the Bears.
I was
bad.
gonna say I don't care if they're 2-3. I still think they're like one
The
of the
worst
bottom
team,
two teams
yeah.
in the NFL.
I hate Carson Wentz. Give me Chicago.
Yep, that was always happening. Jets.
Did you wait? Hold on before you move
rather
on,
take
Did you see what Ron Rivera said?
Quarterbacks are a problem.
Is it exactly what I thought was
Yeah.
going to happen in the beginning of the year?
Well, their defense is really bad too.
Yeah, well, Ron Rivera.
Yeah,
might-
but like I knew that Ron Rivera would get fed up with him.
time might be ticking with him as well, though.
With Ron Rivera?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But at the same time, time is ticking with Carson Wentz too.
Time is ticking on that franchise, dude.
We need to have him not be a starter anymore. And I
Mhm.
will start a petition with whoever I need to start it with.
We'll call up Ron. Say,
I will call up Ron and be like, yo, Ron, I will sign this petition and I'll get millions of people to sign it.
All right. Jets at Green Bay. Green Bay is a 7.5 point favorite at home in Lambeau Field. Over unders 45.5 points.
Just
Antonio-
take the Jets already.
Antonio's taking the Packers. For
Yeah,
sure.
that was obvious.
You're taking the Jets.
I don't know.
You're not riding the train?
I don't know. Because I really think this is it. Well, I said this last
Oh, they're
week about
going
the
up to
Giants
Lambeau
game.
too. I mean,
The thing is the Packers can't cover.
No, they can't. They can't cover and they
Spreads,
they keep getting high spreads because they're playing shitty teams, but it's like they can't. They play down is what I'm trying to say.
That's
they
the same
down to
spread
their
against the Giants,
competition.
right? Or the
Yeah,
Giants
they
was
were
8.5.
both. It was
Eight-
nine.
it was
Well, it was
8.5.
9.5. It was. I think last week when we did it was 9.5. It was 9.5. Oh no, it was 8.5. It was 8.5 against the Giants, and it was 9.5 against the Patriots, and they couldn't cover either.
Yeah,
And now they're at 7.5.
I think this one they cover. Coming off a loss at home, they should easily cover this. I don't care how bad they are. They just have to cover this and they have to win. So, I mean, 7.5 is a lot. I wouldn't blame you this time for taking the Jets because
Nothing
the Jets'
crazy.
offenses look good.
Nothing crazy. Probably just
Green
Packers
Bay's
by
defense
10.
hasn't looked the best. They gave up 27 to a deflated Patriots
Jets
offense.
offense looked good last week, but was Zach Wilson impressive?
Not really.
No,
No.
but I don't think he has to be, and that's the big thing for the Jets right now.
My heart is telling me the Jets, and my head is telling me the Packers. And sometimes in life, you got to follow your heart. So I'm going with the New York Jets.
Let's go.
Tampa Bay on the road, going to not Heinz Field. They're like some really weird name now.
Oh yeah, is it one of those like crypto names now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Does it say?
They're going to Heinz Field.
They're going to Heinz Field.
It's Heinz Field.
They're going to Heinz Ward Field.
Tampa Bay is an 8.5 point favorite. Over under is 43.5 points. I don't know how you bet on Pittsburgh.
Acrisure Stadium.
I was all over Tampa Bay last week. I thought that -10 was the freest thing on the planet.
They were
them coming off a
they
loss.
were just not letting Atlanta move the ball, and then all of a sudden they put 2 drives together, and it was a close game. Tampa looked really bad on offense last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the roughing the passer call.
No, we didn't.
Wow, that was a bad call.
There was a couple of those last week.
That's
I don't understand.
That's about as rid of a call as it
That was
gets.
that was so.
Yeah,
rigged.
and then that ref.
They're like,
that
we
ref
can't have
defended.
Atlanta winning this game. Are you kidding me?
The ref defended that call too.
That's bad.
Yeah, he said you can't.
How
Just,
did they interview him?
yeah, they asked him a question and he told whatever reporter that you can't just throw a guy to the earth. He thought it was unnecessary the way Tom Brady got thrown to the ground.
He didn't even get thrown to the ground. Though.
I don't think I've.
Yeah, just
it
the
looked
way
like
he
a classic
That's
tackle.
just the way he tackled him. Like, what are you gonna do?
Because Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Like he knows once he gets hit, he
I
goes
almost
down.
wanna-
He doesn't. He's not like trying to fight to stay up.
I almost want to stand up. Like, he comes at him like
He grabs his hips.
behind him on the side like this. So you're just gonna bring him down with you. What are you gonna like? Are you gonna try and just Jenga tower?
No,
him
there was
down?
nothing. There was nothing the offender could have done. They wanted Tampa Bay to stay on the field, so they called that penalty. That's all.
Yeah, I
that's,
think Grady Jarrett did everything he could have done to
Good
make
play.
that a safe tackle.
Great play.
Yeah, no, it was nothing that it was nothing. Grady Jarrett did nothing wrong. It was the refs wanted to call that penalty.
Like, what is he just supposed to bear hug him standing up? Like, then he just throws like one of those dump passes and they get 10 yards off of it. I think that was I think it was just rigged. I think that's the story I'm going with there. I don't understand why people were mad at Tom Brady for it. They're like, oh, Tom Brady. It's like he didn't make the fucking call. Tom Brady said it was he didn't say it was a bad call, but he's talked about how they call for the offense now.
Yeah.
They
Aaron Rodgers came out and said that the Chris Jones call and that call were terrible.
yeah.
He said they were shit calls.
I don't want to pick this game.
Which game?
Pittsburgh,
I
Tampa.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I'll take Tampa.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna take Tampa.
I don't like it though.
I don't like it either. But dude, Pittsburgh,
This defense against Kenny Pickett,
Pittsburgh's
they're
got a
gonna
real
swallow him.
possibility to start off 1-7, dude. I mean, they got the Dolphins, they got the Eagles, Saints, Bengals. They suck.
Does everyone not have Tampa money line in a parlay in this game? Like how everyone literally says how did the Steelers win this game? Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, money line is 98% Tampa Bay.
I don't know how the Steelers could win this game, and I also don't know how they can cover that 8
all
points.
right, now I just have to take.
Yeah,
the
I don't know how
Steelers.
I don't know how they'd score.
I don't
on
know
this
how they
defense.
score a touchdown. I don't know how they score a touchdown. I really don't. Kenny Pickett might throw 4 interceptions.
I have no understanding of that game. I'm just gonna say
Moving
Pittsburgh.
on.
San Francisco at Atlanta. Atlanta still undefeated against the spread, even though they did not win. Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta plus 5.5 at home. Over unders 44.5 points.
Are they like the Lions of this year, like from last year? Like,
They're a little bit better, honestly. They're a little better.
It's tough for me not to take Atlanta.
I
but
really like Atlanta in this game.
everything.
You like them to cover, or you like them to win?
They can win.
I'm yeah. They.
This is one of those ones where they just win for no
Do
reason.
they want to go after Kyle Shanahan, or does Kyle Shanahan want to go after? I'm so on the Niners right now that I really want to take them.
Take them.
I don't know. This might be one of those games that Atlanta wins for no
How
reason.
much-
This is one of those that
Yeah, like
no, ready? This is one of those that everyone knows that Atlanta's 5-0 against the spread, and they're just like San Francisco. They're just like San Francisco is not covering
65% on San Francisco, but the spread went down. It
Yeah.
went down from 6.
Yeah.
I don't get
My
my
6.5 on mine.
I don't get my Atlanta picks right often.
You don't.
Yeah, you hate picking.
So go the
Atlanta.
opposite.
I'm gonna fade myself.
Yes, good boy.
And take the Falcons.
Good boy.
ATL baby, East Point, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But does that mean like San Francisco's winning by $1 million now?
Well, it depends who you're picking. You
I said Atlanta. I said this is just one of those games that they might win for no reason.
San Francisco's winning by 100.
If we agree, should I flop then?
No, if Atlanta wins,
You
this is
rarely
bad.
flop, but when you flop, you're right. I feel like when you flop, you do like 90%.
All right, I'm gonna flop then.
All right.
Man,
San Fran minus 5.5. I mean, they just look like the greatest team ever.
I've embraced it. Give me the Falcons.
Also, I don't know if this is we talked about the Jets in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Right now it says it's gonna snow.
Oh, I really like the Packers.
But it says it's going to be 50 degrees.
Oh, I really like the Packers.
I don't know. I'm gonna do some more research. Go on to the next game.
Can I can't do an asterisk. You don't know the weather a week from now.
No, you don't.
Fuck. Just know if it snows, put your house under and by. New England at Cleveland. New England is a 2.5 point underdog at Cleveland. This is a double revenge game.
Which one?
New England at Cleveland. You can definitely tell me one. One's easy.
People are still, yeah.
This is a double revenge game. Oh yeah, Jacoby Brissett against the Patriots, but like,
And Belichick against the Browns.
Thank you.
Yeah, Belichick against the Browns. I'll take that every time.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think people are still like afraid to bet against the Patriots, like even in spreads and things like that. But
All right, I don't think it's gonna snow.
after watching the Browns last week, I want to take the Patriots. And Ramondre Stevenson looked excellent last week.
He's coming into
So
his own.
the Lions are actually still third in the NFL in points scored, even after not
Getting shut
scoring
out.
a single point last week.
I'm gonna take Cleveland here.
Okay.
I don't
Any reason?
think the Patriots are winning this game.
Zap me.
Genuinely. It might be Mac. It's probably going to be Zap, but Mac has a chance of playing, I guess. But regardless, give me Cleveland.
I don't
All
want to take. It's weird
I like
pinning
that.
like this quarterback and coach thing, but I'm not. I don't want to take Jacoby Brissett's team against Belichick's team,
Fair enough.
especially
Well,
since
the way I look at
correlation
it
there.
is, with the Patriots defense, they always do something very, very consistently for some reason. They take away what your best option is.
Yeah, Nick Chubb's going to have an awful day on the ground.
Nick Chubb they're going to take that away. So if you're going to tell me that they're going to put the ball in Jacoby Brissett's hand.
yeah,
and
you
he's
saw
gonna-
what happened when he was passing the ball last week. Not good.
You know who's going to have
That was one of the worst picks I've ever seen.
And
Why
then
do you? Throw
and then
that
you
ball?
have Jones covering Amari Cooper. Yeah, no, thank you.
You know who's going to have a huge game?
Who?
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem
That's
Hunt
what I
probably
like to
will
hear.
have a big game.
I honestly think he does. He's going to have I was going to say 300 yards receiving. Obviously not, but he'll have 100 yards receiving.
Yeah,
they're going to have to pass out of the backfield a bunch.
I need Hunt to perform the rest of the year.
You're taking...
New England.
Okay. I've been different this year. Normally, I just blindly take New England every time, and I'm not doing that anymore. This is
Smart.
the weirdest game I have honestly ever seen in my whole entire life. Minnesota
I knew you were gonna say that game.
at Miami.
I don't think they've ever played at Miami. I've never seen that.
I don't think I've seen Minnesota play Miami ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say what a
let
strange.
alone them in Miami.
Yo, spread's 50-50 right now.
I saw that. Ugh.
Not even America knows what to do with this game.
Tua practice this week.
This is genuinely a coin flip.
I think Tua plays.
I think Tua
I
plays.
think this spread is definitely telling you Tua is not playing in this game.
This spread, yeah.
Minnesota's 3.5 point favorite in Miami.
I really want to take Miami because I don't trust Minnesota right now. They're not showing me that they can close these games out down the stretch. It's just
Well, their favorite thing is go up 10 or 15 or 20, and then it's like last week they're in my. I will say I got lucky that it ended up being a push, but at the same time it was like they were killing the Bears, and then all of a sudden you look on your screen and it's 20-18 or 21-18 or whatever the score is, and it's like, how did this happen?
Yeah, it was like just all of a sudden it was a one possession game.
Literally
You're
within
how?
literally within 4 minutes, the Bears scored 2 touchdowns, and you're like, what happened? Like
It was, you know what it was, Sal? It was because I didn't start David Montgomery
oh, nice.
because he was hurt, the whole time, and then before the game,
Sunday-
he's
Sunday at
playing,
11,
and I was
Sunday
like,
at 11.
okay. I was like, and then they're like, oh, he might be on a pitch count, and I was like, okay, so he's definitely not going to go off.
They're never right about that.
They're never right about it, Sal, and we're never right about it. No one's ever right about
But it's
it.
their job to be right about it. We just come here and bullshit.
Yeah, who are we? But it's the same thing, though. Who are they?
Yeah, fair enough.
Who are they, dude?
now the Vikings.
I just got a broadcasting or communications degree. I have one of those. Does that mean I'm supposed to be a sportscaster, sports reporter?
Well, that's what we wanted.
I took a sports reporting class in college. Does that
Yeah,
make
we
me
did
a
fantasy
fucking,
football, baby.
Does that make me an
what we
expert?
Yeah, I mean, I still like Minnesota to win this division, but they look a lot weaker than I thought they would so far this season. 4-1's a very good record, but they just don't look as strong as I expect them to be this year. I think they respond more, a lot better to this head coach than they do than they did Mike Zimmer. We'll say that, but
They definitely like this guy.
I definitely like Miami to cover this game, which means they probably win. But I do like Miami to cover.
I mean, like, it just all depends if Tua is playing.
I need to hear, Nolan, what you're picking.
Because how much of this is the fact that they lost to the Jets
Vikings
and got blown out by the Jets?
Wait, say that again?
How much of this spread is because they got blown out by the Jets?
I'd say 2 points. I'd say that was worth two or 2.5 points. But
so if you're telling me it's basically a pick, I want to pick the Vikings. I feel like they're the better team.
Well, that's not what the spread is.
I know. But if that's the logic I'm going with, I'm going to stick with my logic.
My whole thing is like if it was Tua, they're not letting you bet 3.5 right now. I don't want to say I promise you, but like
because it also is Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Vegas knows. Vegas knows who's playing. Let's be honest. Vegas knows who's playing. Do they not?
That's true, but it's also 50-50. Like, you know what I mean?
That's not my point. My point is they're not going to put out a shitty ass line, and then Tua comes in and says that he's playing on Sunday, and then it goes to Miami -1.
Sal, it started as Minnesota +3,
and then they got the call saying Tua's not playing.
No, then they went in their time machine and went to see what the score was going to be. Yeah, give me Minnesota. I just don't trust Miami at this point because I don't want to pick Miami and then Tua doesn't play and then they do shit again. So I don't want that. So I'm just going to take the Vikings. Vikings haven't been that impressive, but they're still 4-1. They're still very impressive. They still have a good roster. Justin Jefferson all the way. I love me some Justin Jefferson. Sal is so torn.
Minnesota.
I think America's confused on what to do with the Dolphins here.
America's confused that these two teams are actually playing each other.
I still can't believe I saw that game this week and I was like, huh? I was like, this is a possible NFL matchup. I didn't know this happened.
This is possible?
Anyone want to guess what the previous game was, the score?
Was it recent?
2018 was the last time these two teams played.
The Vikings were good in 2018.
To 16.
It was in Minnesota. It was 41-17 Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota was good in 2018. That was the year of the Stephon Diggs.
Keenum?
No, that was the year they had Teddy, I think.
They had Teddy. No, because that was the year of the Minnesota Miracle.
2018 Vikings.
You're right. Because
that was the year of the
they
Minnesota
ended up playing
Miracle.
Philly in the playoffs that year, and they played the Saints the game before that, and that was Minnesota Miracle. So it was Case Keenum.
It was Case Keenum.
It was Kirk Cousins.
And then he got hurt, probably. And then he got hurt, and Case Keenum was the backup.
Make a case.
Yeah.
Got to make a case for Keenum.
All right. Enough of that chatter nonsense.
Enough of
That's
that
my TED
nonsense, he says.
Baltimore at the Giants. Does anyone know the spread of this game before I say it?
5.5.
No, you shouldn't have said it. I wanted someone to guess.
No, I
He
knew it
guessed.
because I was listening to the radio today.
Oh, I thought you guessed.
Baltimore is. I have 6 right now. 6-point favorites.
I also have 6.
now I'm looking at 6.
6-point favorites in New York. Over under is 44.5. Mr. Giants fan, please tell us what's going to happen.
My brain's telling me Baltimore.
Baltimore
I'm gonna take
sharts
Baltimore.
on them in this game.
You think so?
This is a good old fashioned ass.
Yeah.
whooping.
Now the world is.
The world is on the New York Giants.
No,
this week.
I thought it was going to be, but it's a 50. It's a 51-49.
Wait till Sunday.
Split.
Wait till Sunday on this game. Everyone's gonna be like, Giants +6. They're not gonna lose by a touchdown.
That's very true.
This is.
I love Baltimore in this spot.
Baltimore
Also,
has got one of the streakiest defenses I've seen.
This is 44-7 Baltimore.
oh, you think it's like that?
This is 44-7 Baltimore.
Baltimore has trouble.
Really,
though.
I'm not.
They
Gonna
play
argue
down to
that.
their competition. Also, I don't like that about them because I feel like
Last
they could
time
be
these
so
two-
dominant.
Last time these two teams played in New York, it was a very good game, and Odell had like 200
That was a
yards.
great game.
I was at
actually.
Bobby V's watching that game. That same week, I remember Tyrod and the Bills beating the 49ers like 44-16.
Mm-hmm.
They had LaShawn McCoy. He was running all over.
That was
the place.
early in the year, right?
That was early in the year.
Yeah.
Sean McCoy.
That was. I think it was week 5.
Yeah, that sounds right, actually. I was really pissed at myself listening back to the podcast last week because I was talking about the Green Bay game.
Were we faded?
No, I was faded.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the Green Bay game, and I was like, oh, like this is a gross game. Like I have no clue who I liked, and then I got to pick 3, and I was like, I love the Packers. I was like, dude, did I not listen to myself? I was like,
I think we do that so often, and we just don't catch it sometimes.
I was just like, I just had to like pick a team, and I was like, all right, the Packers. And then, but the way I said it, I was like, I love the Packers. I was like,
we got to pick 3, and you could tell you had some time to sit on it. And you were like, I love the Packers.
This is the game I love.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Jacksonville at Indy.
Of course, this is the game you love. This is the grossest.
Oh, he
game.
loves Indianapolis. He
Wow!
loves them.
Wow! How did you know that?
Because I want to take the Jaguars,
Yeah,
but I
so
know it's
bad.
probably not the right pick.
Indy's a 1.5 point favorite at home. Indy. I'm not gonna say.
God, I hate it.
I'm not gonna say Indy crushes them or Indy like puts their dick in them, but Indy wins this game. I promise you.
I hate taking Indy, but
Oh,
it's the pick here. It's
who do I
definitely the pick
Who
here.
do I hate more than anyone in the world?
Matt Ryan.
I hate Matt Ryan
but
more
I
than
know
anyone. And I know Matt Ryan probably better than his wife does. Matt Ryan is winning this game.
this.
You're Matt Ryan's wife.
I might be Matt Ryan's wife.
Oh.
But I abuse
No,
the
you're definitely his mistress.
I abuse the shit out of Matt Ryan. I
Yeah.
tell him he's a fucking asshole all the time.
No, he's like into that. Like he's into like
But
getting
like
abused.
only sometimes. Like no.
But that's why you're his like side
Right,
chick. Like
right.
like you hate him. Like you abuse him, but he likes it.
I like he comes over to my place and I just beat the fuck out of him sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Colts are definitely the pick in this game. Now, the Jaguars last week had over 400 yards of offense, and they couldn't get in the end zone.
I love the Jags this week because I loved the Colts when I first saw this matchup. So
Yeah,
I,
baby.
I have to fade
Take the
myself on
Jags,
this
do
one.
it.
I'm definitely
Please.
taking the Jags. I think they win this game. Fuck Matt Ryan.
That's a great.
Fuck
That's great
Trevor.
logic.
Fuck a not 100% Jonathan Taylor.
That's honestly great logic.
Yeah, that's all I have.
You're taking Colts, right?
I'm taking the Colts for non-football reasons.
Cincinnati. This is the biggest lopsided one side of the week.
That's insane.
Cincinnati -1.5 at the Saints.
And I hate it.
Nine,
Because, like,
90% of the bets are on Cincinnati right now. It's just
Dude, the Saints win.
It's just an auto Saints. It's just an auto Saints. You it might be wrong. It's just an auto. If you
go ahead, boys.
if you gamble, it's an auto Saints. Are you doing Cincy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead, boys. I'm gonna do it. It's a 1:00 game.
Okay.
If there's any time where these kind of lines don't play
Saints.
out to what you think
Yeah.
is like the Vegas thing, it's a 1:00 game. If
So-
this is a primetime game, hell no.
I will say, you can take your 401k, cash it in.
Yep.
Jamar Chase is scoring a touchdown in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Back home in the Bayou.
You know who I think is scoring a touchdown in this game?
Oh wow.
Wow is right. He is 100% scoring a touchdown.
Joe Burrow there too.
Joe Burrow might score a touchdown.
Oh, wait, is that why?
Joe Burrow might throw it.
Wait, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are back in the Bayou.
I might. Did I just flip it for you? Are you going to the, are you going to the
1:00
dark
game.
side? Technically, I'm not.
Tell-
on the
like-
dark side.
What, you're gonna tell me
Wow.
that?
No.
You're gonna tell me a percentage like this has never hit in history?
Ready? I'm not saying you got to do it, but now you got to double flip. And now if you don't 1-1, you can't be mad at yourself. You won't be. If you flip, you won't be mad at yourself.
No, because no. Listen, I can't have that safety net because then it doesn't work.
All right.
Come on.
I'm not flipping. I love Alvin Kamara in this game.
Oh.
He looked a lot like himself this past week,
He
and
had
I
a
think
good
he
week
gets.
last week.
I think he gets it rolling. I think he finally is.
Well, I just traded him away, so that's probably why.
Well, I have him. In
Oh
one
yeah,
league.
that makes me love
Yeah,
it
yeah.
even more.
I-
Put your 401k in him scoring a touchdown.
touchdown.
I know he hasn't scored one yet, right?
I think he did week 2 or week 1. He scored one. He scored one this year.
Yeah, him to score a touchdown this week. I love.
All right.
But I'm gonna be so mad if Cincinnati beats the fuck out of.
Well,
the
that's
Saints.
how this game goes. I promise you this. It's either like very close, the Saints win, or if Cincinnati wins this game, it is by 21 points, and you just feel like a dumbass for taking the Saints.
I definitely am okay with feeling like a dumbass because I do it every week. So
Arizona traveling to Seattle. Arizona's
so gross.
a 2.5 point favorite in this game. The over/under is 50.5. Seattle can't stop anybody.
Wacky shit happens when these teams play.
Yo, Seattle has been playing these games the last 2 weeks. It's like, what is this 38-35 bullshit? What is this?
They've been playing fun. That Saints game was really fun, honestly.
It was like, who would have thought that would have
Isn't
been
Geno
one of the
Smith,
most
like, the
offensive
fourth
games,
best
like,
quarterback
fun
right now?
offensive games of the year.
In quarterback rating, he's like fourth.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He looks really good.
He does. He's finally found that connection with DK Metcalf.
Well, like, honestly, and I'm not saying this like in a bad way, but if you have both those receivers, you should look like a competent quarterback.
I mean, I forget
Yeah, Tyler Lockett looked good too.
I forget what media outlet put it out, but it was Bleacher Report, ESPN, or something like that. Quarterback power rankings so far through week 5, and we had Geno Smith at number 9.
Yeah, I believe that.
Why the hell not?
This season, I believe it.
I mean, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, you compare that to Kirk Cousins, who has 7 and 5.
Name me 3 better quarterbacks in the NFC than Geno Smith right now playing this year. I'm not saying
not Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, what? Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Statistically playing better than him is probably just Jalen Hurts.
Up until this week, Jared Goff.
Maybe. That one's the
I thought you said NFC.
Yeah, he's NFC. Lions are NFC.
They are?
But not now
They were
because
AFC.
they did nothing last week. That's an argument
Wait,
until last week.
am I faded?
Who else?
You're so faded. They're in the Packers division.
Oh, I'm off a
You're
beam.
Yeah, you're off a perk right now.
All right.
But like not Rodgers, not Cousins, maybe Goff. I don't like that though. Not Justin.
I mean,
Fields.
they do have the top scoring
Garoppolo
offense.
hasn't played
not
all the
Garoppolo,
games.
not Kyler, not I don't think I said Fields. Not Carson Wentz.
Obviously not Fields.
Not Baker Mayfield. Jesus Christ.
Oh my.
He's been playing better than Tom. Like that's like literally all the quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
He's probably the second. He's probably played like the second best quarterback in the NFC. Think about that. Imagine
Absolutely.
Imagine I said that.
We go through all that right now. You're right. You're
Just
you're very
sucks
right.
that their team is so bad. Their defense is a sieve.
Saying all that, I'm taking it to Arizona.
I'm taking Seattle, dude. I love Seattle at home.
I'm taking Arizona. Whenever these two teams play each other, the road team always wins.
Fair enough.
All right. I like that logic.
History.
I just think Arizona's. It's gonna be like putting a hot knife through butter, and Arizona's gonna get whatever they want the whole game. And Arizona hasn't been playing teams like that lately, so they're gonna feel like pretty good. They're gonna go in there and like.
Or their confidence is shook.
Well, no, I feel like this is one of those games where it's easy
your
to
confidence
get
back.
yards and points against this team.
That's
So
true.
they're gonna like feel good after
James
this game.
Conner's having a big day.
And they got DeAndre back next week.
I'm putting my house on the Cardinals wherever they play next week.
I think it's the Packers, but I could be wrong.
House on the Cardinals.
Oh, it's
The Saints.
House on the Cardinals. Holy shit.
Alrighty. We got one more game, and then we got the game of the week after. Carolina. This is not the game of the week by any means. Carolina, PJ Walker, and new head coach. Probably an interim. I don't think they announced it yet.
It is. It's the guy. He's from North Carolina.
Really?
No, Sal. If you looked it up, Sal, you'd love Carolina in this game.
Well,
he already does because of the head coach.
it's in Auto Carolina, but the Rams kill him in this game.
And the
It's
Rams
I take the Rams.
Rams
They're gonna
minus
score a lot of
10,
points.
Rams
like-
minus 10. So
Rams
like
look so good.
I'm not picked 3 in this game, but like this is just an auto like Sal spot. Like I have to take the new coach and the new quarterback. Like it's just something.
It's just something I have to.
I have to do it.
I love you, Sal. I'm going to take the Rams here. I think the Rams.
The Rams are the right play.
I think the Rams look good in this game, and everyone's going to forget that they look like they were in shambles this week. So I think that's what this game is going to be like.
All right, let's head up that game. This is what's important.
Did he pick? Did you pick?
Yeah, you get the Rams.
You picked the Rams. Okay.
I picked the Rams.
Buffalo Bills traveling to Arrowhead. Anytime these two teams play, it's always in Kansas City. I think.
I
You know
know.
what? You know what should have happened? They should have switched the Denver Chargers game for this game. Like this should have been the Monday night.
Well,
game.
Denver's got to be in primetime every week, apparently.
They just have to be. I don't.
It's just like a terrible meal they're force feeding down our mouth. They're like, you better fucking eat it.
They really put their chips in the fucking basket that
Wilson,
Russell
yeah.
Wilson was going to be good this year,
That
and that Denver was going to be good this year.
That was a terrible bet by them.
Terrible bet by the NFL.
Anyways, Buffalo minus 2.5, favorited in Kansas City.
Right. Which, looking at that, it makes me want to take Kansas City.
Patrick Mahomes has never been a home underdog in his first 5 or 6 years in the NFL. And he has never lost as an underdog against the spread. He's won. I think he's 7-0 straight up and 7-0 outright.
Now,
Or
even
7-0 against the spread and 7-0 straight up.
Nice.
Let's go.
Now,
I love Buffalo in this spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say even looking at that when I saw the spread, my gut was leaning Kansas City, but I start to think about other things where Kansas City's defense has really not looked the greatest so far this year. And if I'm thinking about offensive firepower and comparison on defense, Buffalo has the advantage. So I am going to take the Buffalo Bills a bit reluctantly. There's a part of me that really wants to take the Chiefs.
Really mad.
That's a good point. They're might
really
be really
mad.
mad. Now, they beat the Steelers, I mean, have a better, defensive roster. I mean, if you look at it, than the Chiefs. And everything about that game last week was lopsided. Even the fights that broke out later in the game between the Bills and Steelers were lopsided to the Bills.
I don't care about previous matchups. I don't care about anything that's happened this year. This is the AFC Championship all over again to the Bills, and this is their chance to redeem themselves, especially being in Arrowhead. They are going to be angry.
Right. And
just like how Kansas City was angry against the Bucs a couple weeks ago, it's the same thing.
now you could argue that Andy Reid is telling the Chiefs the same thing, like this is so important for home field advantage type for, situation, especially with them being in a tough division. But you flip that to the Bills' perspective, and they're saying, all right, we play in a much favorable division than the Chiefs do. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs have a much harder schedule than the Bills do going down the rest of the year. So Buffalo wins this game. They have an extremely good chance to have home field over the Chiefs for the rest of the season. So
this is the biggest. Sorry, what?
I take Buffalo, and I'm done.
I think this is like such a big opportunity for the Bills here. I think this is their chance to like show everyone we are the top dog.
Right.
This is definitely AFC Championship type material here, preview. But I love the Bills.
This might be where the Chiefs and Patrick, not saying they're going to look bad or anything because of it, but this might be where they start to miss Tyreek Hill a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now the Bills got this Gabe Davis type guy who they're just launching the ball down the field.
I still don't think he's that great, but I mean, he put up a really good performance last week.
They got more deep threats than Kansas City does at this point.
So I haven't really said much yet.
Because he likes Kansas City.
Because I like Kansas City.
You love Kansas City.
Don't love Kansas City in this game. I like Kansas City.
He's not putting his money near it.
I don't think I am. Only for the simple fact that
I'm not either.
Only for the simple fact. I'm sorry, I'm watching this. No, I can't focus. All right. Only for the simple. Oh my God.
Wow.
Jeez. Okay.
The clusterfuck.
I like Kansas City only for the simple fact that I still believe fully, wholeheartedly that Buffalo is making the Super Bowl. And for Buffalo to make the Super Bowl, who are they going to have to play? Kansas City. So this is going to be the reverse of last year. Last year, Buffalo beat them in the regular season, lost to them in the postseason. This year, Buffalo's going to lose to them in the regular season.
Get really mad
and kick the shit out of them in the postseason.
Okay.
That is my only logic. I'll take Mahomes as an underdog. I don't think that's a terrible spot. Like I'll take.
Oh no, that's a really good spot for bettors in this.
So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I love the Bills. I love the Bills a lot. Just this week, I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Yeah, if I don't plan on putting money on this game. I just want to enjoy it.
This is just one of those games. Yeah, no.
If I was a betting man,
you bet the over.
I am a betting man.
No. If I was a betting man,
I'd most likely be putting the money on Patrick Mahomes. That's
Yeah, I think putting the money on the under in this game is so
I just picked
yucky.
I just picked the Bills on a gambling show, but
you might be a terrorist if you put money on the under in this game.
Yeah, it's just like
you just hate fun.
Yeah,
you just genuinely hate
you want to
fun.
see the
unless
world
it's
burn.
Bills like 35-0, and Pat Mahomes gets fucking Theismann.
That was the nugget.
I don't even want to think.
No, I was playing my grandpa in fantasy this past week, and he had the last thing he had was Patrick Mahomes. I was up by like 10, but he had Mahomes playing, so I knew I was going to lose.
Yeah.
I
don't you always beat him?
Oh, I did up until last year. I had 2 losses regular season last year. He had one.
Man.
They were both to him, and he won the championship.
That means I'm going to beat you when we play.
Well, yeah,
the curse.
Yeah, the
How many times
the
we
curse
gotta
has
teach
been
you this
lifted.
lesson, old man?
The curse of the Sal's is over. Yeah, no, I told him like, Papa, Pat's getting Theismann, and I'm gonna beat you.
I mean, maybe you're a week early, like we are, like early with everything, apparently. But
that's a bad thing to say.
We're early with everything.
All right, let's hope not. Let's hope it's a great game.
Let's hope he doesn't get hurt.
And a good Sunday night game.
I think this is going to be a great game.
Very good game.
Dallas at Philly. Philly's a 6-point favorite at home.
This is the most I've looked forward to watching an NFC East primetime game in quite a few years.
I do too. I think now that the
game's very
NFC
interesting.
East is good.
It's really interesting.
Who do you like in the spot, Sal?
This has Philly written all over it.
You think so?
This has Philly written all over it. I think this is one of those games where everyone tries to talk themselves into Dallas and like this little like underdog story. I think Philly goes in, beats them not handily, but like it's like a 7-10 point game.
That stadium in prime time is a different animal
yep,
as well.
And I think Dak comes back next week, and they can't bring Dak back until it's a loss. And I think they lose this week, and then Dak comes back after. So I'm going to take Philly here. And I think it's honestly like 31-24
Okay.
Philly.
I like the points with Dallas. I think Dan Quinn's going to draw up a real good defensive game plan against Jalen Hurts. A low-scoring game most likely because the Eagles do have a very good defense, and Cooper Rush is limited.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because that's a lot of how these NFC East primetime games turn out to be. I like Dallas points. I don't like them to win, but I think this game might come down to a field goal.
I think whenever these teams play in their division, it's always a close game. So I think I'm with Antonio on this one. I think that they cover that 6 points. I definitely see this as like a 2017 Philly win, something like that, where they win on a field goal at the end or something like that.
No fan base hates Dallas more than Philly, by the way.
That is also true.
I mean, nobody hates fan bases more than people hate the Philly
Oh yeah,
fan
no,
base.
they have fuck Philly fans. They're the worst in the country.
They're worse than
they
Cowboys
hate
fans
Dallas
for sure.
more than anything.
I thought the over for this game was 6. It was 6.5.
The over
this game?
Yeah. In the
you're
Bruins
talking
game.
about this game.
No.
What the hell?
The Bruins game.
It always goes over if it's 6.5. So
Yeah, you're not wrong.
always goes over.
All right. Last game. This is the second easiest game of the week behind Indianapolis. Denver travels to the Chargers. What? You know I love Denver.
Just the way you said it.
Oh, yeah.
This is the second easiest game of the week besides Indianapolis.
Denver's a 5-point dog against the Chargers. The Chargers never cover this number. Denver probably wins outright.
Yeah, all these stupid games you end up kind of like anytime Denver looks like shit one week.
Yeah,
I want to pick them next week. Especially after the coaching that went down in that Cleveland game last week.
This is the bad coach bowl if I've ever seen it.
Exactly.
This is really bad.
Now, which means that the offensive play calling is going to be terrible, and there's probably going to be defensive scores in this game, and the defensive scores are probably going to come from Denver. I like Denver.
I like the Chargers.
Yeah, you do.
I can't see the Chargers going 3-3 here. They have to be 4-2. That's my only logic.
I did see Denver losing by 3 very
I
easily.
don't know. I can see this division just getting so tight. Like both them being 3-3,
Pause.
and Kansas City would be 4-2.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. He said pause because you said this is tight.
You said so tight.
So tight.
This is so tight.
Super tight.
This division is so tight.
Yeah, you like the Chargers.
I like the Chargers.
All right, gentlemen.
Pick 3.
Let's recap first. I had a terrible week, unfortunately. Nolan went 9-6-1, 2-1 in pick 3. I went 5-10-1, easily my worst week. 1-1-1 in pick 3.
I mean, after going 3-0 2 weeks in a row, you were kind of.
I was due, but like I said before this, I'd rather have gone 1-2 or 0-3 than 1-1-1.
I mean, you were due, but at the same time, you didn't.
I went 500.
You went 500.
Ugh,
I mean, that one push is kind of
itchy. Antonio went 9-6-1 from home. He went 1-2 in pick 3. Gotta be better. Alan, our guest picker, 8-6-1 above 500. 2-0-1 in pick 3. Alan,
yeah.
hey,
Alan.
He didn't lose.
Good job, Alan. Came in for the sub and he nailed it.
He was the super sub. We said that before.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Overall, just really quick, Nolan 38, 40 and 2 pushes, 7 and 8.
So close.
So you're very close. You're on both our tails. 7 and 8 in pick 3. I am 41, 37 and 2. I was doing so good before last week. 9-5-1 in pick 3, pretty decent. Antonio 44, 34 and 2. Great overall. 5-10 and pick 3. He just can't.
Shit.
He just can't.
When it matters the most.
Yeah, he just can't get over the hump. So,
I'm Kirk Cousins right now.
so Nolan gets to decide the order.
I'm gonna have Sal go
Yeah,
first.
you love picking me first.
I love having Sal go
Because
first.
he always goes last.
Yeah, that's fine. Indy, they're gonna just win. Like I don't have anything. I know Matt Ryan better than Matt Ryan knows Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Indy's winning this game. Denver is covering 5. I think they lose very close. They have a chance to win outright. Chargers have no home field advantage whatsoever. Denver's defense is probably the best unit on the field, realistically. I think they're both terrible coaches. Just give me the 5 points in a close primetime matchup.
Love it.
I always do this.
I'm sure of 2 of my picks, and I hope me and Sal don't have.
I'm stuck between 2. You definitely don't have one of them.
You
definitely don't
stuck. You're stuck between the
Ravens and Saints.
Funny how we
okay.
know each other so well, dude. You knew it was the Ravens.
I feel like every time I pick the Ravens, they just blow it for me. I can't ignore 90% of the money on one team. I'll take the Saints. I honestly think I said I wasn't pick 3ing it when I was talking about it, but I'm pick 3ing it, so whatever. Saints plus 1.5.
All right, go ahead, Antonio.
It's gross, but I really like Washington to win tomorrow night.
What an idiot.
Ew.
I think the Bears really suck. Washington sucks, but the Bears are like
Yeah.
50 feet of crap, you know.
Mhm.
I feel dirty. I really think the Ravens are going to cover. I really do. I like them against the Giants.
I did not think you would take that.
Now, it's tough for me to pick this last game, and for the sake of us like not having like a same, because we always have one of the same.
Antonio, take the same. Don't let my pick affect your pick.
Because I like Denver a lot this week.
So take Denver.
I do. I'm tempted with the Rams. Do I trust them that much to cover the 10? I picked them, but I don't know if I'm confident enough to put them in a pick 3. However, I'm 5-10 in pick 3, so maybe that shouldn't matter. I picked the fucking Broncos a lot. I've always picked the Broncos.
Because you love the Broncos.
I know. I've had a little crush on them ever since Peyton went there a long time ago. Yeah. No, I like them. Pretty much what Sal said. The defense is the best unit on the field by far in that game matchup, and there's no home field advantage for the Chargers. So I like the Commanders, not Giants, Ravens, and Broncos.
All right. So again, I'm doing something I don't normally do. I feel like that's worked for me these past few weeks. Doing something I don't normally do, because when I pick like how I think I'm gonna pick, I'm really bad. So I fade myself. Give me the Patriots plus 2.5. I think that they win this game, and
I thought about it.
And I know we hate putting the Patriots in our pick 3.
I mean, that just means they're losing.
That's fine, but I really do think they win. I think their defense is playing really lights out right now. I think
that's your one this year.
All right. Hey, I'll take it.
Tell him, Peter.
I'll take it. Tell him, everybody gets one. Apparently, everybody gets one. And then give me the Bucks minus 8. I don't know how Pittsburgh can possibly cover that 8 or score any points. And then lastly, I'm also torn between 2, but I'm going to go with my gut, which will probably be wrong. Give me Dallas plus 6.
I knew you were taking Dallas.
They have to cover that 6. There's no way they don't. Even with Cooper Rush playing and how Philly's been really good, they cover that 6.
I thought about taking Philly for a hot second, and then I was like, nah, that's gross. That's not a pick 3.
All right.
Bold prediction, anyone? You were going to say something.
No, I was going to say, how about this is interesting. How about a little help? I'm still alive in Survivor Pool.
Just God, picks. Don't ask. The Gremlin's ears are so turned up, it's not even funny.
No, the Gremlin literally sits in between you guys.
I was going to say, I really like the Rams.
No, you take
I don't think I picked them yet this year.
You literally take the Rams.
There's no other team that I really would.
The Rams are going to look really good on Sunday.
The Ravens.
I mean, the Ravens will
I
look
don't
really
think
good.
I
too.
There's got to be a better team. There's got to be
I
a better
just-
team for the Ravens down the line.
I just forget if I picked the Rams or not yet. And if I did already, I'm going to pick the Packers, I think.
Ooh.
Or the Niners.
I wouldn't pick the Niners. I would not pick the Niners.
I mean, spot-wise, Antonio, you're probably right. How do the Packers lose to both the Giants and the Jets? Back to
100%.
You got to remember they are flying back from London, though.
Is
so
it just you're picking just winners?
They
here?
just have to win, but you can't pick the same team over
Yeah.
that you already picked. So
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't picked the Packers yet, then might be smart because how the fuck? Yeah, like you said, how did they lose to the Giants and the Jets back to back?
and they're
Right.
at home, and you know
That's what I mean. I have this. I got a funny feeling I've taken the Rams. No, maybe I think I took the Chargers actually. So the Rams are going to be my play if I haven't taken the Rams yet. But if
I
not,
think that definitely should be your play if
Right.
you haven't picked the Rams.
if not, then I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I would not go 49ers just because of that game is so weird.
All right. Bold prediction. Let me see if I can figure something out here.
My bold prediction, I said already. Kenny Pickett throws 4 interceptions. Is that bold enough?
hell yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna say. Well, this is not a bold prediction, obviously, but you can bet the farm on Jamar Chase scoring a touchdown Sunday. Like literally the farm. Like
The farm, dude.
I'm gonna say.
I suck at finding bold predictions.
I know. I don't want to like think too hard about this either.
I try not to think too hard about it. I mean, we don't even like keep track of our bold predictions.
No, we just
do
kind of. It's fun at the end.
Yeah. Yep.
Matt Ryan throws 4 touchdown passes on Sunday afternoon.
4.
4 touchdown
That's
passes.
bold.
I might start
he
him
hate
in a
me.
fantasy league this week. That's how confident
He
I am.
hate me.
I might pick him up in our league. I might start Matt Ryan in our league. That's how confident. It's him or Carson Wentz, and I think right now I'm going to go pick up Matt Ryan and play him.
If you're torn between those two, definitely pick up Matt Ryan.
Did I pick up Geno this week? I think I might have.
I mean, I would have picked up Geno too. Like,
Oh, I picked up Tua? Ew.
oh,
Rodgers got dropped in our league?
stinky.
Aaron?
Yeah, he's kind of
Jesus.
Yeah, Kevin has him.
he's kind of stinky. Kevin dropped him. Interesting.
I'm gonna flip that, Sal.
Trevor Lawrence throws 4 touchdowns?
No,
Oh.
you know what I'm gonna say.
Matt Ryan throws 4 interceptions?
Nah.
What?
Carson Wentz loves playing against shit teams.
Wow.
He's gonna throw 4 touchdowns.
Damn it. Can I play both of them? Is that possible?
No.
No, I know.
You know who's a cheat code in fantasy?
Taysom Hill.
And I picked him up in our league.
He's
I didn't
listed
play
as a
him.
tight end now.
Yeah, he's a tight end. He kind of is, though.
But he is. Like, to start the year, he is.
Yeah.
He is a tight end.
Weird.
But you know what they did last year? He was a tight end. Then they switched him to a quarterback. Which they might have to do.
I mean, this year he's a tight end. Genuinely. He doesn't
Yeah.
start at quarterback.
But he threw a passing touchdown last week.
He's a utility player. He's everything.
Yeah, he's a cheat code.
Honestly, you should be able to play him at any position.
I'm going to play him from now on.
Who's your tight end?
Gerald Everett.
He
He was good throughout the first few weeks.
He's
but
been decent. Once Keenan comes back, then you can put Taysom on. Who knows? Matt Ryan 4 touchdowns. Pittman touches 2.
Like it.
It has to be. If he's throwing 4, Pittman's at least having half of them.
Oh, do you know what was awesome last week when Brian Robinson came back and he comes out to Many Men by
That was
50
great.
Cent?
One of the
That
greatest
was
videos
awesome.
I've ever
The
seen.
thing that
So
I
fun.
hated about that video, the crowd cheered, but like it should have been way louder. Like it should have been.
I think that happens though, but I think it's
Yeah,
because
they don't care.
football stadiums are so big.
Fair enough, but
You
like,
don't like hear it on the field as much.
if you were like that team, that's your guy. Like no one else you really care about. Like when he comes back, you gotta be like, let's fucking go. Like this is who we came to see tonight.
Then you also remember it's a Commanders.
Yeah, I
thing.
was gonna say they're not like that kind of fans. They're not known to be a
Well, they don't even have fans.
extravagant.
They don't
fan
have any
base.
fans.
Yeah, they lost the fans when they definitely lost fans when they changed. Like I have no problem with the Indians and what do you call it? Washington changing their name, but come up with something cooler.
Mm-hmm.
The Red
fucking
Wolves.
Guardians?
The Red Wolves would have been so much
You-
Red
better.
were
Wolves
on-
sounds awesome.
You were on the Red Wolves for a little bit.
Cleveland Spiders, like what they were called 100 years ago, sounds good too.
I mean, Spiders. I don't know if that really does it for me, but like, they had such a good opportunity.
Can I make another bold prediction?
Yeah, of course.
No.
You get unlimited bold predictions.
No, you
Unlimited?
can't say
Yeah.
it. You can't say it.
Are you ready for this?
No.
It has nothing to do with football. The Blackhawks win this game tonight.
Against the Avalanche.
They spoil the party tonight.
That always happens, I feel like.
I feel like that really does always happen.
The Blackhawks are bad, though.
Oh, the Blackhawks are garbage, dude.
They've been
hate
garbage
Do they
ever
still
since
Fleury?
I think so.
Ew.
No. He went to he went
Oh,
to Minnesota.
yeah.
Yeah, that was last year.
I kind of like them.
Mhm.
Dark horse.
The Wild?
One dark horse NHL team, both of you now. Quick. Don't even think about it. Just out of the blue. They're going to come up out of nowhere. Quick. Anything.
I mean, I like the Minnesota Wild. I do.
Have fun in the Wild.
They're fun.
I'm taking the Canucks.
That was my other. I was going between the two. The Canucks are good.
I want to go east now. Then
Go east.
The Blackhawks.
they play in the West.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm faded then.
The Red Wings
Ooh.
I like that.
or the Devils.
No.
Stick with the Red Wings.
The Red Wings. Tell me about Buffalo this year.
No.
No, I'm not gonna tell you about Buffalo this year. There's nothing to tell.
God
They don't have
damn it.
anything. They don't have anything.
Is Eichel still on that team?
No, he's on
he bought
Vegas.
Vegas.
I love Vegas this year.
Vegas is winning the Stanley Cup. this
Thank
year.
you. I said that.
With Bruce Cassidy
Yes,
there, they're winning.
yes.
They're winning the Stanley Cup. They're winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Them going to the finals this year is the
Free.
freest bet I've ever seen.
I hate Detroit teams, but I mean the Red Wings gotta have one of the coolest logos in all of sports.
The Red Wings,
Wow.
they're such like a traditional team. I really like it, and
I
they have an exciting young team.
I hate this team. I hate this team a lot. Vegas Panthers final?
No,
I don't.
No.
I hate the thought of
Not-
two southern climates being in the Stanley Cup.
Not feeling that.
I mean that definitely could happen.
It could have happened, but
I'm not saying that's not happening.
I
I
just
just
hate-
think it's gross.
I
Would
just-
every game be 6-5?
I just hate when two hot
Yeah.
cities make it. I
Yeah.
think it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Every game would be 6-5. The only thing Vegas that makes me icky is their goaltending. They don't have any. What do they?
Oh, is it still Leonard?
No, he's hurt.
Who do they have?
Thompson. His name's Thompson.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He's bad.
I mean, he's not bad. They won last night.
No, he's bad.
You see how they won last night?
I
Mark
saw they won
Stone.
4-3.
Mark Stone is my favorite non-Bruins
You have a crush
player.
on him.
I do.
You would
He's
re-
very good. He's the captain of that team, and he wins with 30 seconds left. He wins it for him.
The Kings might be decent.
Mm,
Decent. I'm not saying good. Decent.
they're gonna be borderline.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
They're gonna be
Dude,
borderline
I
playoff team.
swear. Besides like Vegas, like any team that plays below the Mason-Dixon line, I'm not a fan.
I mean, Western Conference Final is gonna be Vegas and
Colorado.
Avalanche,
Yeah.
yeah. Because the Avalanche basically have the same team. They got rid of their goalie, but it doesn't really matter.
I mean, holy shit, they were a wagon last year.
Yeah, halfway through the season, it was just kind of like who's
Halfway through the season,
taking them down.
Halfway through the season, they had like 6 losses. I'm not even joking when I say
Yeah,
that.
they were a wagon. I think they won 60-something games last year.
Yeah.
They are they might be the fastest team I've ever seen,
And they didn't
while
really lose anybody.
also having such an
Still.
insane defense.
Oh.
As long as you have Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're okay. Cale Makar was such a good pickup for them.
Oh my god.
I can't believe the Bruins didn't have him, dude. Right under their fucking nose, playing at fucking UMass.
Think
All right.
that'll wrap it up.
That'll wrap it up, gentlemen.
Love you.
See you next time.
Loves and kisses.